So you want to powerfully use that emotion, like the reason that those outcomes are important to you. How does it change the quality of your life? How does it impact your relationships? What kind of freedom does it afford you? This is the point, guys, of no kidding, being crystal clear about what your outcomes are. And you're literally filtering everything that comes at you with, is this invitation? Is this conversation? Is turning on Netflix and zoning out? Is grabbing a glass of wine at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Is that consistent with my outcome? Now, if clarity on your outcome isn't sufficient, you've got to reacquaint yourself with the emotion behind it. You guys work with buyers. Do buyers based on logic or based on emotion? How much fear is involved for a first-time home buyer? A lot or a little? Most people are stopped by fear, but what is it that drives a buyer to go ahead and complete those unknown steps and delve into that world of uncertainty? It's their emotional. They get an emotional connection to what? Being a homeowner. That independence, that freedom, right? So if we're feeling squirrely, if we're feeling inefficient, if we're feeling overwhelmed, that's the point to really get connected with what are the outcomes that I'm committed to achieving, and what's the reason behind it? What's the emotion? What does it provide for you, right? I'm looking at buying another boat that I'll keep here at the yacht club in Coeur d'Alene. And what I'm literally looking for is how many people do I want to entertain? You know, for Cambry and I, entertaining and is our love language. Cooking, entertaining, experiences, that's our love language. So I'm literally looking at how many people, it's not the width of the boat or the length of the boat, it's how many people, how many couples could we serve at any given time, right? Now, when you get connected, can you just see the visual? Can you see the visual of cruising out into the lake with a couple of dear friends, dear couples that we just so love and so enjoy? Can you see the visual of cruising out to the lake and stopping in at Harrison, having a little dinner, cruising up into Carlin Bay, having a lobster roll, a couple of drinks, diving into the cove? Can you see the visual? You've got to create that for yourself. By the way, companies are marketing and branding you consistently. What's the feeling, the emotion, for example, that Harley Davidson conveys? Freedom. Freedom. It's not the engine size, right? It's not the size of the bike. It's not any of those things. It's freedom. So you want to powerfully use that emotion, like the reason that those outcomes are important to you. How does it change the quality of your life? How does it impact your relationships? What kind of freedom does it afford you? And actually, by the way, guys, the 15 minutes of meditation, of being still, look, I have you focus on one specific thing, right? Gratitude. And you do that 3 times. And then you focus on drawing in energy, healing. Actually, what it is being grateful for yourself and the power and the energy that lies within. And then you think about your loved ones. You think about your partners. And you think about your friends, right? And you think about spreading that. And then you think about your outcomes. What that's actually getting you to do is be still. So for those of you who are skipping through it, like it really is an exercise of being still and allowing your brain to process, your brain and your heart to process, who are you? What's important to you? What is your value? What do you have to spread? What are your gifts? It's maybe the one time in the day, because you're distracted with focusing on your gratitudes and your outcomes, that negative self-talk that we all engage with diminishes for just a minute. Could be the one time a day. But it's why it's so important